Hello student, today I will explain you the next part of our chapter, the best Christmas present in the world. Let's start. I folded the letter again and slipped it carefully back into its envelope. After reading the letter, the writer slipped the letter back into its envelope. I kept awake all night. That night he did not sleep. By morning, I knew what I had to do, and next morning, he knew very well that what he had to do. I drove into Bridport, just a few miles away. He went to Bridport, which was quite near. I asked a boy walking his dog where Copper Beaches was, and he asked the address to a boy. House number 12 turned out to be nothing but a burned out shell. House number was 12 was completely burned, the roof gaping, the windows boarded up. The roof was gaping. It means there was a gap between the roof and windows are also not in good condition. I knocked at the door next door and asked if anyone knew the whereabouts of Mrs. Macpherson. When the writer saw that the house was completely burned, he knocked at the next door and asked about Mrs. Macpherson. Oh, yes, said the old man in his sleepers. An old man came in his sleepers and he said he knew the old lady. He knew her well, a lovely old lady, he told me, a bit muddle headed, but at her age, she was entitled to be, wasn't she? The old man informed the writer that she was an old woman, so she was little bit muddle headed. Muddle headed means confused. 101 years old. The reason was that she was 101 years old. She had been in the house when it caught fire, and the lady was in the house when the house caught the fire. No one really knew how the fire had started, and nobody knew the reason how the fire started, but it could well have been candles. But the fire started from the candles. She used candles rather than electricity because she always thought electricity was too expensive. The old lady always used candles in place of electricity as she thought electricity was too expensive. The fireman had got her out just in time. Fireman saved the life of old lady. She was in a nursing home now. Now Mrs. Macpherson was in a nursing home. He told me Burlington House on the Dorchester Road on the other side of town. The name of the nursing home was Burlington House and it was on the Dorchester Road on the other side of the town. I found Burlington House nursing home easily enough. The writer found the Burlington House nursing home very easily. There were paper chain up in the hallway and a lighted Christmas tree stood in the corner with a lopsided angel. And there was the decoration of papers in the hall, and there was a Christmas tree in the corner, and on the Christmas tree there is a lopsided angel. I said I was a friend come to visit Mrs. Macpherson to bring her a Christmas present. The writer informed that he was a friend of Mrs. Macpherson and he brought a Christmas present for her. I could see through into the dining room where everyone was wearing a paper hat and singing. The writer saw in the dining area that everyone wore a paper hat and they were singing. The matron had a hat on too and seems happy enough to see me. The matron of the nursing home also wearing a hat and looked very happy. She even offered me a mince pie. Mince pie is a pie. It is sweet in taste. Matron offered the writer mince pie, a sweet. She walked me along the corridor and the matron also come with the writer. Mrs. Macpherson is not in with the others, she told me. The matron informed the writer that Mrs. Macpherson was not with other people. She is rather confused today, so we thought it best if she had a good rest. The matron informed the writer that Mrs. Macpherson was very confused that day, so they thought it is better for her to take a good rest. She has no family, no one visits. And she also informed the writer that Mrs. Macpherson had no family and nobody come to visit her. So I'm sure she will be only too pleased to see you. So the matron was sure that she would be happy to see him. She took me into a conservatory with wicker chairs and potted plants all around and left me. The veteran took the writer into a conservatory. Conservatory is a classroom outside the house. There were chairs and potted plants and she left the writer there. The old lady was sitting in a wheelchair, her hands folded in her lap. She had silver white hair pinned into a wispy bun and her hair were white and she made a bun. She was gazing out at the garden and she was looking out at the garden. "Hello," I said. She turned and looked up at me vacantly. The writer said to her, "Hello." "Happy Christmas, Connie," I went on. After that, the writer wished her Happy Christmas, Connie. "I found this. I think it's yours." He showed the letter to her and asked her that he found a letter and he thought it's hers. As I was speaking, her eyes never left my face. When the writer was speaking, her eyes was continuously on his face. I opened the tin box and gave it to her. The writer opened the tin box and gave the letter to her. That was the moment her eyes lit up with recognition and her face became suffused with a sudden glow of happiness. When the writer gave her the letter, at that moment her eyes were shining and her face also suffused means shining with happiness. I explained about the desk. Now the writer told her about the desk about how I had found it and how he found that letter, but I don't think she was listening. In this line, the writer want to say that he was explaining her how he found that letter, but at that time she was not listening him. For a while she said nothing but stroked the letter tenderly with her fingertips. Suddenly she reached out and took my hand. Suddenly the old lady held the hand of the writer. Her ears were filled with tears. There were tears in her eyes. She told me you had come home by Christmas, dearest, she said, and here you are, the best Christmas present in the world. Come closer, Jim dear, sit down. The old lady, thinking the writer, her husband Jim, so she told him that he told her you had come home by Christmas, and here he was, the best Christmas present in the world. I sat beside her and she kissed my cheek. The writer sat beside Mrs. Jim Macpherson and she kissed his cheek. I read your letter so often, Jim, every day. She told the writer that she read his letters every day. I wanted to hear your voice in my head. Mrs. Macpherson felt the voice of her husband in her head. It always made me feel you were with me. Whenever she read the letter, she felt that her husband with her. And now you are back. You can read it to me yourself. Now, the old lady, thinking the writer, her husband, so she requested him to read the letter. Would you do that for me, Jim dear? I just want to hear your voice again. She wanted to hear her husband's voice. I had loved that so much. And then perhaps we will have some tea. And after that they will take some tea. I have made you a nice Christmas cake, marzipan all around. She had also made a Christmas cake. I know how much you love marzipan. As Jim Macpherson loved marzipan, the old lady made a cake of marzipan.